interesting. I hope so. They got hot takes.
Since you are interracial.
What?
At one point in my life, I kind of wanted to have mixed babies with almost every race. I don't know if that's
boy, you got a different type of timing with that, boy.
I'm real into genetics.
But if you on some, you know what I'm saying, on the other type of timing, then nah, bro. You. I got a word for you. All right. Back watching my favorite channel, one of them. Hopefully from your favorite channel, one of them. Badmon things, you know? What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Badmon Jackson back again with another and today we got a video from Jubilee and it's called "Is It Okay to Have a Preference of Race?" Interracial couples agree or disagree, and it's a spectrum video, you know what I'm saying? So it's pretty much like, do all interracial couples think the same? It's a video that was requested to me. I'm pretty sure this is it. So you know what I'm saying? We're gonna go ahead and check it out. But before we dive on in it though, please do me this favor. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and hit that bell button so you be notified when I drop a video like this. Also, share it with your family and friends. Doing so will help me grow. Hopefully you already know. But that's all I got. So without further ado, let's dive on in.
Freak stuff in the bedroom. If race sprinkles is put into that context, what do we think of that? Like
how would race be put into the bedroom?
Use your imagination.
Ooh, do all interracial. This is it. Okay, cool.
I have unintentionally been racist towards my partner.
Goodness.
3, 2.
Why he laughing?
Go.
The way he laughed, you already going to agree.
I've definitely been ignorant.
So we were.
I wrote it down.
So we had an argument, and I was upset, and I had previously expressed how the stereotype or the stigma on angry black men or angry black women and how that makes me feel. And so we got into an argument. I was an angry black man, but in that moment of anger, he actually called me an angry black man, which
is like the worst thing.
Made me go crazy because that was like the one thing that I talked to him about. So, that was a really bad fight.
I would hope so.
It never happened again.
I would hope not. Yeah.
I feel like, I'm strongly disagree, but I think as just a white person, I am just inherently ignorant. So I think I'm gonna move to somewhat agree.
Okay.
Dating a black man has completely opened my eyes more than I already thought they were open,
To be fair, you've never said anything that made me feel like, damn, she's racist,
Oh, that's who she
I'm
dating?
from the Bay. So it used to be in my vocabulary where I would say the N-word with the A. I would rap it, I would do just those things, but my slang in general would just tick her off. And then I became conscious of it, and I really liked her, or I still do, of course. I love you. I started changing the way I speak. I feel like she should be over here too. She would do Asian accents.
So he's Asian. Okay, I thought so. He does the Asian accents.
The only time that I feel like
I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it.
Asian people is when I'm mocking you when you're mocking your mother.
That's funny. Yeah, I'm about to say he don't even sound like he don't got no
So
heavy-
I only do the
yeah.
accent when he does it, making fun of his mom. Before
That makes
that,
sense.
I never did that. So.
That's kind of like me. You know what I'm saying? Impersonating or mocking my mom's accent, because you know my mom's from the Caribbean, and you know Badmon things, you know, and I'll try to talk like her sometimes, because I don't got like a heavy Caribbean accent or nothing like that. So, you know what I'm saying, if I was dating like a person of another race and they tried to mock that, I wouldn't. Actually, how would I feel about that? That's a good question. I honestly don't know. I had to be in that experience, in that predicament.
Okay, guys, so we're gonna do something different. This is called hot takes.
Oh, something
and
new?
basically we let our audience submit hot takes and assumptions that they make about interracial relationships. They're really hot.
It should be interesting. Really, I hope so.
Get
Make our hot
steamy
takes.
Since you are interracial.
What? I mean, sex is sex. I don't think it
it
matters
adds
on the
to
race.
I like the
appeal.
differences between us. I don't
Yeah,
know.
definitely. I mean, there's not like any weird role play or anything like that. But yeah, definitely, you know, makes it fun.
I will say, like, when I'm not with you, people will like be like, oh, like, I know why you're with the black guy. And it's like, that's like super disrespectful, because it's like, that's like definitely like on the line of like fetishizing. Like,
Right.
Yeah, that's definitely
race.
fetishizing.
There's not many sexual stereotypes about white men. But like walking down the street, especially dating an Asian woman, like I get looks from men all the time, and like, oh, like you know, right? And
It's
like
not.
people like actually like calling me out while I'm right next to her.
Interracial relationships can be a fetish, and that's okay if it's love too.
Yeah, I disagree with that. I disagree with that.
Even if you love the person, you just fetishizing that person is
feel like it
good at all.
devalues
Yeah,
it.
and you're
Yeah.
devaluing the entire community in itself.
I think there's always room for growth, so I can understand if it starts as a fetish and then along, you know, the relationship, they actually fall in love with that person and they realize that, okay, it wasn't okay for me to initially just like you based off of that.
I mean,
If it's
yeah, it's a
between
learning
two
experience. I guess I
consenting
can see it from that
adults,
standpoint.
The freak stuff in the bedroom. If race sprinkles is put into that context, what do we think of that? Like, it's just in the bedroom, or is it like possible to just keep it in the bedroom?
That's
how,
true.
How would race be put into the bedroom?
Use your imagination. I'm not.
It doesn't even matter if you're consenting or not, it's still wrong.
Yeah.
Right? Like you want to say that stuff, you want to do that stuff because of the stereotypes you have of those people. And that doesn't really sit right with you
Right, because
whatsoever.
like, who's to say?
I have always wanted
Am I-
mixed
let me not say
babies.
that. Let me not say that.
3,
Let me not-
2, 1, go.
At one point in my life, I kind of wanted to have mixed
Strongly
babies
agree.
with almost every race. I don't know if that's
Yeah, like, boy, he got a different type of timing
but
with
I
that,
just
boy.
wanted,
Yes,
I'm
nah.
real into genetics. I would like to see how my kids would turn.
But I'm not gonna lie to you. I was curious, like, of how, you know what I'm saying, my mixed baby would look. Now I really ain't gotta be curious no more, cause you know my brother, you know what I'm saying, he has mixed babies. So my nephew, my niece, they both mixed. So I'm like, okay, I got an idea of how they look, cause people say that, you know what I'm saying, my nephew looks like me sometimes. So I'll be like, oh, okay. So that's probably how he would look if he was a mixed baby. Cute. It's something about my, you know what I'm saying, my queen. You know what I'm saying, my chocolate. My chocolate. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I just can't see myself. I mean, maybe, but I don't know. It goes back to the sex thing, bruh. Like, come on now. There's like the same thing with somebody like, they'll tell me like, oh, they want to really have sex with a white girl because they feel like they freakier and stuff like that. You know, that type of stereotype. Oh, they do crazy stuff. And I'm just like, haven't had the experience. It's not that great, bruh. It's not really. It's none like if y'all, and I didn't even have the experience because of a stereotype. And it just, you know, just happened, kind of sort of thing. You know what I'm saying? You're chilling, it happens. And so, but like, if that's your reasoning and that's what you think it is, like, I mean, sure, you gotta try things out for yourself to know that's true. But like, I just feel like that's kind of, I don't know. Going back to the sex scene, that's just like, nah. That's stupid. Like this whole fetishizing thing, I just don't agree with it, bro. That don't rock with me. That don't sit right with me. Like, if you gon', you know what I'm saying, do stuff with a person, do it because, you know, that's the person that you want to do some stuff with. You know what I'm saying? It don't matter what they are or the stereotype, this, that, and the other. Plus, even if it is a stereotype, bro, that's it. It's a stereotype. That don't mean every white girl you know what I'm saying, come around gonna be freaky. Every black guy you come around gonna have a little big little thing. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? We don't know.
Out and
Never race. Jeez. As a mixed race person myself, you don't have a group of people to really be around. I mean, sometimes you connect with one side, sometimes you connect with another side. But for me, it sucked actually a lot. I've accepted myself. I'm black and proud. I love the fact that I have both of these cultures, and I really don't care. I just have to teach my kids that because of your skin tone, you either gain privileges or lose privileges.
Like I've had people at work, like we'll be talking about ourselves, and I'll show them a picture of Ivan, and they'll be like, "Oh my God, I totally wanted black babies like when I was like a teenager," and it's just like, this isn't Build-A-Bear, like this is a human, like, so.
And I actually have an 8-year-old mixed child. It's been very challenging, but I've had to stick it out because I want to be a good father and I care about my kid. So
this isn't Build-A-Bear, this is real life. And
in
my mind, I wanted to have kids that was exactly my skin tone or very close to it and look like me, because I am conceited as well. Where the hell I'm gonna find somebody to do that and it work out and they're just the perfect wife? I don't believe in that anymore.
It's funny because that was actually something we talked about when we first started dating. That became an insecurity of mine. I was like, so why are we dating? Because I cannot provide absolutely any of that for you. And so I understand, like I said, why he feels that way, why a lot of the black community feels that way. So I'm just glad that I'm accepted now in our relationship for that.
No.
I sometimes feel like I portray my own.
If you feel like that, then you on something else. I ain't gonna lie to you. It's not that deep.
1, go.
Ooh, a lot of black people said agree. And I can see why, especially because in the black community, bruh, mixing, especially with white, you know what I'm saying, is definitely looked upon. I mean, looked down upon. Not looked upon. Looked down upon. To be honest with you. It really is. Especially for the old generation black people, you know what I'm saying? So, they experienced civil rights wasn't long ago. You know what I'm saying? Just to put that in perspective, civil rights was only like, what, 60, 70 years ago. That was not that long ago. So, because of that, they don't like the idea of it a lot. It makes sense. You know what I'm saying? You can't blame them for that. But at the same time, I don't feel like you should feel like you betrayed your own race because, you know what I'm saying, you decided to love somebody that doesn't look like you. You know, as long as it is about love. As long as you're not one of the people that's like, oh, I'm just done with, you know what I'm saying, this type of person in my race. I'm just going to go try another race. As long as you're not on that type of timing, then, like, you good. If you do that, then you no good, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you. Like, oh, I'm tired of black women, you know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna give me a white woman, give me an Asian woman. You know? Like, nah, bro. You talk to who you talk to, and if they happen to be, you know what I'm saying, another ethnicity or race or whatever, then, you know what I'm saying, let it rock. But if you on some, you know what I'm saying, on the other type of time, then nah, bro. Nah, bro, I got a word for you. I don't know if I'm able to say it on here, though.
Yeah. I definitely feel like that, man. I feel like, especially where I'm from, I did my people a disservice by playing into that stereotype. And knowing what I stand for now, it's hard for me to feel like I'm gonna be taken serious in the future if I ever want to speak on controversial topics. My people won't respect what I say because, like, it doesn't add up, my views and stuff.
That's
and
true.
then I'm dating somebody outside of my race behind the scenes.
Pro-black and stuff. How you be pro-black, but you would have
Me growing up, like, I was never always seen as black, whether it was because of how I looked or how I talked or my culture. But then when I get with someone who's not black, right, they're like, oh, you're betraying us. Oh, like, I get comments literally in my DMs like, oh, Alex, you're not with us no more, right? And I'm like, do you want me or do you not want me, you know? It doesn't bother me if you don't want me, and I understand it is what it is, but don't pick and choose and don't nitpick little things, right? If you want me to be part of your community, then accept me for who I am. Don't say that because I'm half, I don't get to participate in certain topics or certain discussions.
That's true. You can't pick and choose. You gotta, they either all in or all out. They ain't no halfway.
3.
Ain't no half stepping
2,
around me, you know what I'm
1,
saying?
Go.
Ain't no half step. What's the question? Being linked to another race has benefits.
I guess I feel like the word like linked kind of confused me because I feel like experiencing another person's experience, like what their
That is
culture,
beneficial.
like the way that they live, is definitely personally beneficial.
Yeah.
But I think that like in terms of how others view me because I'm dating a white man, I don't find that beneficial. Like I feel like people might have like preconceptions about who I am because I'm an Asian person who's chosen to date a white man. Yeah. I had a question for, I guess, other people. Like, do you ever feel like being with a white person like could shield you from like discrimination, or like that they could like stand up for you? And
That does make. I've heard
in, like,
that
an
argument too
altercation
before
with,
too.
The police or something like.
Like you need that white person with you.
Like,
the
sure,
police
right?
representative.
It would
You know what I'm saying?
help.
I've heard about
That's
that.
what I kind
heard
of
about
thought
that.
of when I heard the question
It's
and
a
I was
definite-
listening to you. It's just like, I don't know, even a customer service experience. I don't know, just random experiences where the person on the other side might judge me based on me being black, but versus someone else calling, or him calling, and it's a whole different experience. So they might treat us individuals
see that.
differently.
I can see that.
So there might be a whole different experience based on just that.
I feel like an outsider with my partner's family. 3, 2, 1, go.
Split. Okay, I kind of expected 50-50.
So I'm sorry, Grace. In our lives, especially today, recently, politics plays such a huge part in it. And because you come from a conservative household, that's different from where I come from.
It's kind of hard to mesh.
And it does make me a little bit uncomfortable to know that I'm gonna be meeting people and have to have close relationships with them, and they don't value what I feel like I value in my life.
Don't have
He's
the same
actually the
values.
first black man I have ever dated, and the only person of color within like my family, just in of itself. And so
that's a lot.
Certain members of my family, with the same political values as us, like had to kind of confide in me, like, hey, we support you with whoever you date, like we're here for you. So it was interesting to kind of see the different sides of my family members that I didn't necessarily know.
When I met her father for the first time, we were walking to get food, and we saw the Ronald Reagan Museum or something like that. And he's like, oh yeah, I love Ronald Reagan, right? And you can have your own personal opinions on presidents, but Ronald Reagan was like, he's like the main reason why black people are incarcerated. He's not a very good person.
He wasn't a good
I was kind of
person.
cracking up about that, and I was kind of awkward, and I know you kind of bit your tongue on that as well.
It was hard to not say anything.
But I was thinking about saying something to maybe like be like, oh, I don't know about that, but I didn't want to like argue with your father on the very first day that I met
That
him.
makes
Yeah, that wouldn't be very fun.
Then you kind of gotta, you know what I'm saying, but I don't know.
I don't know if I can exactly truly connect with him because of that. He's a very nice person, obviously, and he makes me feel comfortable, but at the same time, I have to recognize who I am as a person.
I would say I somewhat agree because
His hairline is kind of,
my partner's
it
family,
literally goes
there's
straight
a
and then
language barrier.
did he cut it like that, or does that grow like that?
I guess
know
it's my
little peaks, but
responsibility
that's
now
like
to try to learn the language, but sometimes when we're together, they're talking, I have no idea what's going on, so I think that's a bit of why I feel like an outsider, but other than that, I feel
Because you don't know what they could be saying. They could be talking about you. You
I
wouldn't
wish
even know it.
we were the same race. 3,
Interesting
2,
question.
1, go.
I'll start. I feel like that would just be the default easiest way to navigate through life. But definitely, obviously, growth happens when you're in interracial relationships. But yeah, that's kind of why I chose somewhat agree.
Yeah, I guess it, like you were
For the
saying, like I
growth
just feel like it would
factors.
be easier in some aspects, and then for me, just like being mixed race, I have felt very like disconnected from my culture. So I feel like dating someone who was like Chilean or who was Korean would help me. But I also agree, obviously, if you weren't white, you wouldn't be like you, and so I don't like wish that. And
the benefits outweigh like what I gain. It kind of sounds weird coming out because it's like, what do you guys get out of dating white people? But like, white people, I feel like we learn a lot.
I think it's interesting that everybody's
That's true,
saying
'cause
that they feel it's easier.
As far as growth and stuff goes, I mean, black people do stand and grow from, of course, experiencing white people more. But it's really white people will typically be the ones to learn more. Because black people are already exposed to the negatives and the positives, while white people may not be exposed to many of the negatives at all. So they may not understand that point of view. But from a black person's standpoint, they understand how they're oppressed and the way that they're oppressed oppress them. So they can understand why a white person would see something a certain way. You know what I'm saying? They won't necessarily know until, you know, you ask one, but they can have like a better idea than what a white person would think of a black person who came from already, you know, that social type of, you know what I'm saying? The ignorance, you know what I'm saying? Ignorance isn't bad. Ignorance is not a bad thing, but choosing to remain ignorant, you know what I'm saying? That's when it's bad. If you're ignorant just by, you know, just naturally, because everybody's ignorant about something, there's nothing wrong with that as long as you take the time to educate yourself. So, white people typically stand to educate themselves more and gain more out of experiencing black people than vice versa, because black people are already pretty aware of a lot of the white people's kind of stuff. But it's more of like a, oh, okay, now I guess not all white people are racist, not all white people are bad, which obviously we know that. But the thing is, we don't know who is who's closeted, who's not. You know what I'm saying? And we won't know until you actually embrace them. So that's the risky part for us. You know, whereas, you know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I guess in an interracial relationship, who would I say? Yeah, I would say that. I would say that the white person stands to gain more when it comes to education and being less ignorant than the black person. But the black person, of course, can still learn too, because we don't know everything about everybody. That's just a fact. But yeah. So, how did I get to that?
I feel like it would be more difficult, having a black man and raising a black family, that it would be more difficult if I was maybe with someone who was white, who could probably have benefits in other ways. I'm grateful for my husband, and I love being with him. And I think there's a lot of benefits just culturally.
And you guys, that is officially a wrap.
Interesting. Okay, that was an interesting video. I like that one. That was nice. Obviously, the is it okay to have a preference wasn't the main. I guess if they're asking that question to us, then would I say, is it okay to have a preference of race? I mean, like I said, preferences aren't bad as long as you don't discriminate or like talk bad about or look down upon any other race because that's not your preference or whatnot, or like you just completely just like, oh no, that's, yeah, you know what I'm saying? But if it's okay to have a preference, there's nothing wrong with preferences. It's about the respect, you know, and disrespect type of thing. You can't have a preference and disrespect another race because they're not your preference. That's not okay. You know what I'm saying? You still gotta treat everybody equally. Because then again, even if you do have a preference, preferences does not necessarily mean that's what you're gonna end up with. That is what you prefer, but then you could still come to find, you know, something else, and it's like, oh, okay, this is good too. I wish I would have known about this or something like that, or I'm glad that I experienced this. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's okay to have a preference of race. Like me, even though my preference of race, of course, is black. You know what I'm saying? That's just naturally what I prefer. That doesn't mean that I'm not open to dating any other race or ethnicity. You know what I'm saying? Because I have mingled with others, and I just know what I like and what I don't like. You know what I'm saying? So it's just, you know, I'm open. I'm not just, can't do it. That's not me. Nah, I'm all, you know what I'm saying? Because, you know, at the end of the day, you're never going to know until you try. As long as you don't go in with expectations. Because if you go in with certain expectations and things like that, then you're kind of setting yourself up already, to be honest with you. You shouldn't expect somebody to act a certain way and then, you know, try to accommodate that without actually knowing the person. Like, there'll be sometimes where maybe you'll be like with like a white person or something, and because you're black, they'll think, oh, maybe he likes this type of music or this type of, you know what I'm saying, topic or something like that. And they'll try to relate to you on that instead of just talking to you like any other person. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't have to assume that I like this. Even if I do, you don't have to assume that. Like, oh, you want the chicken? Like I do, but why'd you have to, you know what I'm saying? Why was that the first thing? You could offer me the steak. You know what I'm saying? The steak is right next to the, yeah. You know what I'm saying? So, like, it's cool. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, it's all, you know what I'm saying? It's all about the respect thing, honestly. So, interracial couples, I have no problem with them. Why do I care? That's none of my business anyways. If that's what you want to do, that's what makes you happy. And if you know what I'm saying, then you know. why does it matter what anybody else thinks? To be honest with you, that's just my viewpoint of it. But obviously, if you get into interracial relationships for the wrong reason, like, oh, I just want a mixed baby, or oh, I'm done with this race, so I'm just moving on to this race, then like, my respect for you, nah, bro, that's out of there. You on the wrong type of timing, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you. But that's that on that. So if y'all enjoyed that video, any part of it, please do me this favor, hit that like button, comment down below. What do you think? Is it okay to have a preference of race? What do you think of interracial couples and the question they ask in here and stuff like that? Do you agree or disagree with some of the questions? Things of that nature. Or if you're in an interracial relationship yourself, or, you know what I'm saying, entanglement, whatever you want to call it. What do you think? You know what I'm saying? What's your experience? Just let the people know. We're here to know. We're here to learn, to educate ourselves. So, you know what I'm saying? Let us know. Also, hit that subscribe button. Hit that bell button so you can notify when I drop a video like this. And all that good stuff. But that's all I got. Love y'all. Peace, happiness spread all the way around. And I'm going to catch y'all next time. And remember this. Bad vibes won't last. They always pass. I had to say that. I had to squeeze that in there. Sorry.